He said he loved me, right before replacing me with someone shinier. Then he kicked me out of our apartment, took the dog I slept with every night, and posted selfies in front of places I once called home. I hit rock bottom. Slept in my car. Cried till I had nothing left. But karma doesn't always knock. Sometimes, she buys the house next door. If you've ever been dumped, discarded, or disrespected by someone who thought they could just move on without consequences, you're going to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle in, because this isn't just about revenge. It's about rising from the ashes and turning heartbreak into poetic justice. My name is Amber. I met Jake when I was 24. I had just landed my first real job in marketing, and he was a freelance videographer with a charming smile, a love for indie films, and a Spotify playlist that made me fall for him before our third date was even over. It wasn't perfect, but it felt real. Laughter over takeout. Sunday morning pancakes. Midnight movie marathons. We weren't rich, but we had something I thought was rare: comfort. Trust. The apartment was under his name. The car. His too. But none of it mattered to me. I paid half of everything, cooked most meals, walked our dog Max every night, and cheered him on through dry spells in his career. I believed in him. In us. Then came Chloe. Younger. Prettier. One of those girls who always has perfect eyeliner and knows how to say the right thing around men. She worked at a local boutique Jake had done some promo videos for. And I didn't see it coming. 2 months after telling me I was the love of his life, Jake came home on a Thursday evening and told me to pack up my things. I had until Sunday. Just like that. No discussion. No warning. Just, I'm starting a new chapter. I begged. Not for him, but for time. I had nowhere to go. My parents were 2 states away. My closest friend had long-term partners and cramped apartments. I needed a week. Just one more week. He looked at me like I was a stranger asking for a loan. Not my problem, he said. You'll figure it out. Max, the dog I had fed, bathed, cuddled through thunderstorms, stayed with him. Everything stayed with him. I left with a suitcase, a phone charger, and $120 in my bank account. That night, I curled up in my old Honda Civic, listening to the rain tap against the windshield. It was summer, but the air felt like ice. I cried so hard I couldn't breathe. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was erased. And Jake, he was thriving. Instagram made sure I didn't forget it. Selfies with Chloe at our favorite taco truck. Chloe wearing the flannel shirt I bought him last Christmas. Them kissing on the balcony where I used to drink my morning coffee and water the plants. I saw them. Every single day. The real punch to the gut? One afternoon, I went back to the mailbox to collect a piece of forwarded mail, and I saw it. My name, scratched out. Lease reprinted. Like I never existed. That was the day something inside me changed. Not sadness. Not grief. Something colder. Sharper. A voice that whispered, "Get up." And make him remember what he threw away. Life didn't get easier overnight. For 2 weeks, I rotated between Walmart parking lots and 24-hour gyms to shower. I ate peanut butter sandwiches and fast food off the dollar menu. I kept the car running at night because I was scared to fall asleep alone in the dark. I started waking up with tension headaches and a constant knot in my stomach. I was invisible. Forgotten. While Jake, he was glowing. Instagram was his new performance stage. Smiling with Chloe in front of the coffee shop I introduced him to. Hiking the trail I once begged him to try. Posing with Max, my Max, in front of my ex-bedroom window. It wasn't just petty. It was surgical. Like he wanted to make sure I saw it all. But pain can be a powerful motivator. I picked up 2 jobs. Waitressing during the day. Cleaning offices at night. I didn't have time for therapy. Or sleep. But I saved every dollar I could. I shared a tiny 1-bedroom with a girl I found on Craigslist who barely spoke to me, and that was fine. I wasn't in the mood for bonding. Months passed. The hurt didn't go away. It hardened. I didn't want to forgive. I wanted to rebuild. In silence. 1 year later, I was still working crazy hours, still tired, but I wasn't broken anymore. I had saved enough for a deposit. I even managed to repair my credit. That's when fate, or karma, finally winked at me. One of my side gigs was freelance real estate photography. I'd shoot listings for agents who didn't want to pay big firms. It was nothing glamorous, but it paid well and kept me busy. Then one day, I opened an email with a new shoot request and froze. The address It was 2 digits off from Jake Street. I zoomed in on the map and laughed. The house next door to Jake and Chloe was going on the market. I showed up for the shoot pretending it was just another gig. But I already knew I wanted it. No, I needed it. The asking price was steep, but the market had cooled, and the owners were desperate. I called in every favor I could, dipped into my savings, took a small bank loan, and got a little help from an uncle who still thought Jake was a punk who needed his teeth knocked in. 2 weeks later, I signed the papers. I didn't move in right away. I wasn't buying a home. I was buying a stage. And the show was about to begin. The first thing I did? Renovations. Loud ones. Jackhammers at 7 a.m. sharp. Tile saws. Concrete drills. Dumpsters lining the driveway. Saturday mornings were Jake and Chloe's sacred sleep-in time. Not anymore. One morning, Jake stormed over in gym shorts and a baby carrier strapped to his chest. "Can you not?" he shouted over the drilling. "We have a newborn." I looked at him with the sweetest smile I could muster. "Oh wow. I didn't know. Congrats. Should be over, eventually." He stared at me like I had grown horns. I waved and walked back inside. Once the noise calmed down, I installed something new, motion-activated floodlights in the backyard. Bright enough to land a plane. A raccoon passing gas could light up their entire patio. Then came the wind chimes. Dozens. Of all shapes and pitches. Their bedroom window faced the west wind. You can imagine what happened when a storm rolled in. My backyard sounded like a haunted Tibetan monastery. Of course, the HOA got involved. Jake and Chloe filed complaints left and right. But I had documentation. Permits. Decibel readings. HOA bylaws memorized. Every reply I sent was as polite and lawful as possible. "Thank you for your concern. I am in full compliance with Article 4, Section B." Weekends became party time. I hosted BBQs, birthday parties, pool days with splashy inflatable animals. I don't even like parties, but I threw them like it was my job. Laughter, shouting, loud music, kids shrieking with joy. Every minute of it made Jake's eyelid twitch. Newborns and parties don't mix. And I made sure they couldn't ignore it. 1 year after moving in, I opened a home business. Doggy daycare. Legit. Licensed. Fenced. Zoning approved. Within weeks, my yard was filled with wagging tails and happy barks. 12 dogs at a time. Jumping, running, barking. Morning to afternoon. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories that prove one thing. Sometimes, karma doesn't knock. It moves in next door.